What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this week's third exclusive segment from the greatest podcast on turf. I'm Ryan.
And I'm an effing dummy.
And for this episode, we are going to be doing our weekly best bets episode.
Ooh.
Last week was atrocious, I know. 2-4 is what we went, but we are still positive. He will look for the record now. Be sure to check out our other content this week. On Tuesday, we did our weekly waiver wire / trades episode. We also did a recap of what happened last week. And also be sure to check out our episode yesterday, our Stardom Sit-em episode. Let you know what players to start, sit, and we did our weekly pick-em on the podcast.
Yeah, right now, best bets, we are 100-0. We haven't got a single one wrong yet. We're up about $1 trillion.
But we went 2-4 last week.
But we're 37-29. I know it's bad. We've had a rough couple weeks, I know. But the NFL season, honestly, if you've been watching, there's been a lot of upsets so far. I mean, who would have thought coming off of a loss, Tampa Bay was going to lose to the Reds football team? Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that Atlanta was going to lose by about 50 to the Cowboys? I mean, some people probably did, but I didn't. We live in a world of blowouts. We are in an NFL season where anything can happen, where anything has happened, where Cooper Kupp and Cordell Patterson are the top two players for fantasy football. That is the type of football season that we are living in, where Mac Jones is arguably the best rookie quarterback. What else is crazy?
Arguably.
When Mac Jones is the best rookie quarterback, we are in a world where the Raiders are second in their division, where the Bengals...
Falcons are damn near in the playoffs. If not, they are. I think.
We're in a world where the Titans are first in the AFC.
That
and
ain't saying anything.
the Patriots are in the playoffs. And the Eagles are only, 3 games out of a playoff spot? That is the type of NFL season we are in. After a 2-minute intro, like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. 300 subscriber giveaway. We're doing on our Instagram a signed Todd Gurley jersey with the certificate of authenticity. Merch coming soon. And with all that being said, before we get into our best bets this weekend, before I fill out my parlay card, here is a word from our amazing, lovely Best Food in Delaware sponsor.
Little Italy Pizzeria. They got 2 locations. One is in Middletown, Delaware. The other one is in Townsend. Great food, great people, great service. As you can see, we got a TV right there. We got a TV there, TV there, TV there, TV there. Come in, watch some football games on Sunday. Come in, have a drink if you're of age. Come in, sit down with the family. You can see booths over here, bar right there, bar over there. Come in, check it out. Let them know that the greatest podcast on turf sent you. They will give you a discount off your meal. Also, show that you are subscribed to the channel. They will give you an additional discount to your meal.
Absolutely. And with all that being said, let's start out with our... Do you have your lock of the week?
All mine are locks.
It's fair because we need a week where we go 6-0 in all of our locks. So let's start out. I'll let you start this one because I started last week.
I'll start out with the Bengals traveling to the Las Vegas Oakland Raiders to take on Derek Carr and a shit show of a franchise.
Poverty.
It sucks. The Raiders have been going. They have been taking blows all season. John Gruden, Henry Ruggs, David Arnett. It has just been piling on. This team cannot get grips. You know, after John Gruden left, they kind of turned back on. It looked like they were going to be a decent football team. No. And then Henry Ruggs went out, David Arnett. And now this team really doesn't have anything to hold them together. Derek Carr is trying his best, but Derek Carr doesn't really have anybody to throw the ball to. I know Darren Waller is there, but Darren Waller hasn't really done anything as of late. He hasn't been a top 3 tight end like we've been used to seeing him. There's no real deep threat with Henry Ruggs being gone. I mean, Djax, who just fumbled the ball at the 10-yard line.
Buddy, sorry.
I mean, let's be real here. The Bengals are coming off of a bye week, and they start off the season hot. They started off as the 1 seed in the AFC, and then they kind of went downhill very fast. Coming off this bye week, I think they're going to get things back together. I think they're going to be all right. Like I said, it's a bye week. It's going to help out Joe Burrow. It's going to help out Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. T. Higgins has even had a decent season, just not scoring a lot of points. Tyler Boyd's still there in the slot, so give me the Bengals -1 traveling to Oakland, Las Vegas.
I like that one. And for the next one, for my first best bet of this week, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Buffalo Bills -7.5 at home versus the Indianapolis Colts. This is a tough one for me. I don't know how. This is one of my more iffy locks of the week, but I'm still locking it in because I don't miss. Clip this next week when I go 0-3.
Again.
I don't miss. Did I go 0-3?
I went 2-1. You went 0-3.
Because Tampa Bay got upset and Atlanta got upset, and
You don't need to keep explaining yourself.
and the Titans only won by 2. So in theory, we should have been 3-3. But the Bills minus 7.5. It's going to be cold in Buffalo. Buffalo has a very good defense. And how does Carson Wentz do against pressure and good defensive lines? He throws the ball with his left hand. He throws pick sixes on the 1 yard line, on the opposite 1 yard line. Carson Wentz, he just tries to do too much under pressure. Greg Rousseau, Carlos Basham, Mario Addison, Jerry Hughes are all going to be getting pressure on Carson Wentz this week. Yeah, the Colts O-line's been doing okay, but the Bills, I'm sure Sean McDermott will be able to scheme something up to get in Carson Wentz's face. Carson Wentz didn't have that good a game against the Jaguars last week, and the Bills are a little bit better than the Jaguars, even though the Jaguars just beat them. But on paper and in theory and in practice, the Bills' defense is better than the Jags' defense. So with that being said, the Bills minus 7.5, I think their defense and I think their offense can get the job done against the Colts this week. Colts are coming off of, they've been riding their hot hand lately. They're on a win streak, I think. Or no.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think they are.
I know the Colts are doing good. I know that much. Call it how you want it. Say what you want. Colts football. Let's see. Yeah.
Where are the other scores?
There we go. Let's see. They've won. Go back to let's see.
1, 2. They lost to the Titans, but they've been playing solid football. They lost 2 games in overtime, 1 to the Titans, 1 to the Ravens. That's solid football.
Yeah, and I mean, they're 4 and... The Colts are doing good, more of the story.
5-5.
They're 5-5, but they're good 5-5. They've only lost to
good teams.
Yeah, they haven't really lost to a bad team yet. And I'm sure that streak will continue this week against the Bills. Take the Bills minus 7.5 points. It's in Buffalo. It's going to be cold. Buffalo's going to be ready to play. I'm sure the Bills need to gain some momentum back in the AFC, because the AFC is not very good and it's kind of up for grabs. So they need to keep up with the Titans, keep getting these big wins, and keep the momentum going. The Bills cannot lose this week, and I'm taking them minus 7.5 points.
My next best bet is Miami minus 3.5, traveling to the New York, New Jersey Jets, who share a home stadium with the New York, New Jersey Giants. It's as simple as this. Miami, I know they won last week in a big game against Baltimore, and I know that you may think that they are hungover, but I think Miami is a much better football team than the New Jersey Jets. Joe Flacco is not very good at football, and he will be a starting quarterback for this team. That's not good. It's not good at all. Miami, I think they're a better team than what their record says. Their record is very bad, and I get that 100%. And I think Tua is a decent quarterback. I don't think that he deserves the hate that he's getting. So I think that he's going to beat the Jets pretty easily. Miami is 6-0 in the last 6 against the Jets in terms of against the spread. The spread's minus 3.5. That's not that much. I know it is a field goal and a little bit more, but I think Miami will cover that. I don't see this being a good game for the Jets.
No, I like that one. That's another game where all of our games so far have been pretty good spreads for the type of games that they are, especially this next one. Going with the Jacksonville Jaguars, plus 6.5 at home versus the 49ers. The 49ers are coming off of a very, very, very big emotional win against the, who did they just beat? The Rams. They blew the Rams out of the water. They're coming off an emotional win. They're playing a Jags team at home who just had a tough, barely lost at the end of the game to the Indianapolis Colts. The Jags have been getting better progressively as the season's gone on. Their offense has been clicking more. Trevor Lawrence has been doing all right. Urban Meyer's been coaching together these good games. They just beat the Bills. And the Jags can hang in there. I think the 49ers are going to be playing off a hangover cross country, so go ahead, take the Jags plus 6.5. I think this is a perfect spread for a game like this where the Niners are favorites coming off a big hangover win. It's just the win that the Jaguars would be a Jaguars game to win, or even just cover the spread. I think this is a very coverable spread for the Jags, so go ahead and take the Jags plus 6.5 this week. This is my biggest lock of the week.
My next pick this week, it is Green Bay traveling to Minnesota. They are -2 favorites. Green Bay is 9-0 against the spread in their last 9 games. I know that means that something's got to give. It's got to give out eventually, but
No.
I think Green Bay beats the Vikings here, and I think they beat them by more than 2. When it's less than 3, it's basically just a pick 'em, in my opinion. Not many games are decided by 1 point. Green Bay, I think they'll beat the Vikings. They are the number 1 seed right now. They have to keep winning if they want to keep that. We all know how important the number 1 seed is. We all know how important these division games are. We all know how Aaron Rodgers is the father of all the teams in the NFC North. We all know this. I think he's going to roll the Vikings. The Vikings have had their own problems on the defensive side of the ball. The secondary is not very good. The offense is playing, solid football. They got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. They got Dalvin Cook. But that's not going to be able to keep up with Aaron Rodgers, the the owner of the Minnesota Vikings franchise.
The owner of the NFC North.
Give me Green Bay -2 traveling to Minnesota.
And I quote, what did he say to the lady in the stand? I effing own you.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty much sums up Aaron Rodgers' career in Green Bay. I effing own you to the entire NFC North division. And for my final best bet, I'm taking a Ryan bet here. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs Dallas Cowboys over 56. I think this game comes down to whoever has the ball last, whoever scores last. This is game of the year. This is perhaps a Super Bowl preview. It could be a Super Bowl preview. I think this is going to be a great game to watch. Dallas's offense versus Kansas City's offense. Who can do it better? Both defenses are okay. Dallas has a little bit better of a defense, or their defense has been playing better. Kansas City's defense showed up last week against the Raiders. I think this has all the makings to be a shootout and kill the over. I think this has potential to where we could see one of the teams cover the over by themselves. So go ahead, take the over on the Dallas-Kansas City game in Kansas City. It's going to be a cold one. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a good game. Game of the year. Dallas-Kansas City over 56. Lock it in.
And that's going to wrap up our best bets this week.
Yeah, if you want to hear our predictions on that game, click the link below the podcast. You do not want to miss out on it. We did our NFL pick'ems. We touched on some UFC news as well. There was some big UFC news. We are the greatest podcast in the octagon. Like, subscribe. Instagram giveaway. We'll see you guys next time. Anything else?
Okay.
Follow us on TikTok. See ya. Jinx again.